keeping the C4. I might have one of these in the morning before I train in place of my coffee.
Squad tomorrow.
Oh,
Big
yeah,
glove sparring tomorrow. I think I'll dip out of that again. Too many numbers.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. It's you that's been pushing back on moving to a bigger gym. Because then you know you'll have to spar.
No,
I figured it out.
I'm all in now.
I thought it was Wad not wanting to have to do the accounts, but it was you not wanting to spar. Yeah, figured it out now. Oh, no, we don't need a cage. No, we don't need a cage. I don't want to be locked in there.
I'm loving it at the minute. I love it.
I'm appreciating the role that you've had throughout my career, though, is that coaching role. It's really quite pleasant.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, by comparison,
very rewarding, isn't it?
Like when you're watching other people suffer, like
I see where you're going now. I thought you were being genuine for a second then.
Although you were working hard the other day, though, I will give you that. I mean, you were working hard.
Yeah.
You know, and working towards your underhook. No, it was not too bad.
Efficiently, but we're getting there.
It's not too bad.
We're getting there. No, it's good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm liking being part of the team while you guys are coaching and playing both sides of the park a little bit and just seeing how that message is coming across, seeing if they're getting it and connecting that feedback loop a little bit. It's I think it is going to end up being quite powerful.
Yeah, I can feel we're building something special.
Yeah, very.
But, yeah, and I can see you playing both sides of it as well. It's very clever. It's like we'll do some steady jiu-jitsu, bit of bag work, and then it's like then you're part of the team there. And then all of a sudden, right, big gloves, sparring. It's like, right, come on, boys, big gloves. And then you're back in coaching role. It's like, I like it. Pick and choose.
Big gloves is my least favourite day because you can't really wrestle. I don't mind the little gloves because at least I get my hands on people.
That's true.
But the big gloves is like, it's too difficult. Yeah. Right. Would you like me to do the sponsor reads?
Go on, you do the sponsor reads.
While we have a triple header today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're levelling things up. First of all, it's summer in the UK.
It is summer in the UK.
It's a very special time for us in the UK because it doesn't happen for very long, does it? And as soon as it does happen, in a traditional quintessential British manner, we rip our shirts off, we get outside in the sun that's not going to last for very long, and we get burnt and we moan about it. But if you're going to do that,
have we got like a suntan lotion?
No, not yet. I'm getting there. I'm getting to the point. You may as well trim up and make that pre-diabetic carcass look a little bit better in the sun. The lockdown weight, at least take the top layer of hair off. And what better way to do that than with a Manscaped trimmer?
Look at this motherfucker. He's all over this, isn't he?
What better way?
Have you written this out?
A little bit, a couple. I can't remember all that shit all in one line. You know what? There's a lot of people just straight up read it. Just like that, straight up reading it.
Yeah.
I might try that.
I mean, you could do. Anyway, I like the fact that you're trying to sell it to me though. This is
a little bit.
A
little bit. 2 million people have bought Manscaped razors.
Have they really?
That's a shitload of people, isn't it?
Not as many as Needham though.
Needham? Oh no, right. See, I thought it was another brand. I was like, don't mention a competitive brand. Who's Needham? Don't buy Needhams. Anyway, if you would like to jump on the Manscaped bandwagon, drop full reptile in at the checkout and you get 20% and free shipping worldwide. Very nice of them.
Very nice
of them. And you know what? You gotta trim the garden every now and again.
Of course you have, especially when it gets hot.
Especially when it's hot, yeah.
Right?
Which you never know in here because it's your room. So I'm wearing a t-shirt today. You guys can see I've took a massive risk today wearing a t-shirt. Who knows whether I'm going to be too hot or too cold?
You're already bleeding. I can already see sweat on you, and I'm wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, right.
I've got the cold button this week. You see, got that cold button.
Interesting.
I'm ready.
We also have a new sponsor on board.
New sponsor.
Yeah. So C4 Energy Drinks are sponsoring us. We spoke to C4 ages ago, didn't we? But we wanted to wait until their Naturals range came out. We felt like it was a better fit for us. And they are now on board. The C4 Smart Fitness range is out. There's a couple of different flavours. We've got grapefruit flavour here. They're very nice. They have a good whack of caffeine in them, ready for your pre-workout if that's how you want to use them. And most importantly, they have given us a 30% off code.
Have they really?
Which is quite a significant amount off for some energy drinks.
Especially because I know people that drink 6 of these a day.
I know.
Like Ricky Lundell bathes in this stuff.
Right.
That's why he's so intense, and he's 1% better every day, and he must be at about 4,600% now, is he not?
Yeah, he's squatting 48,000 kilos now.
Oh, we need to send him a crate of these.
Yeah,
we do for sure.
He's a good dude. I like him. He's
sweetened
crazy.
with stevia.
Nice.
Not Stevia
Nice.
Nicks.
So if you drop full Reptile in at the checkout, you get 30% off, which is pretty cool. I think that's like, if you're in the US, that's about $1.50 for a can. Pretty cheap.
Very good.
Yeah, go get it. Cheap as chips. I like it. And don't forget to download MMA Fanatics app. So if you go to getfanatics.app, you can download the app. There is a full Reptile league. And this week we'll be playing in that league.
Jokes and Chokes is winning.
Is that right?
They tweeted at me the other day. They're a podcast.
Oh, nice.
Jokes and Chokes.
Cool.
So
All right. So we're
if
slowly...
if they win, you know, I mean,
yeah.
you might take over.
Don't come at me about... I don't need that. Don't come at me.
You don't need that.
No.
You've already got plenty of people coming at you. Sparring tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
You'll have to hide in the cupboard.
Maybe.
Again.
Okay. But we're building a little community there, aren't we? So we've got a little league table. There's 130, 140 people on there, and we'd like to build that and get that going. So go and grab that at getfanatics.app. There we go.
Wicked.
All done. I was wrong about this card. I said to you the other day, didn't I? I said I was at best 50-50 whether I could be asked to do this or not. And then you reminded me that this was a requirement now, and there is no 50-50. But no, I was wrong. As I went through this card, it is actually a pretty good card. There's a couple of good fights. Delidzane, Staropoli, and Ponzinibbio and BOSER, I think, will be pretty interesting fights. And plus Mason Jones is on the card, so it's going to be interesting for us to... And Tom Breeze, yeah.
Tom Breeze.
So it will be interesting from a couple of different perspectives, isn't it?
Yes. I'm just pulling the card up on Tapology because I don't trust Wikipedia.
No, I've fully transitioned.
You crossed over.
I've fully transitioned.
I used to be all in on Sherdog, and then advertising just got too much.
Yeah.
It was getting to the stage where, like...
They'll say that about my sponsor reads soon. It's just too much.
Were they sponsor reads?
No,
that was so
completely
natural.
natural.
Natural,
We're just
like
having a chat about
the new C4 small. That was on fucking
trying to
Wayne's
take my
World.
job.
Did you see that Wayne's World? I came right around there.
I like it.
Oh, really good.
Take my motherfucking job.
I've still not figured out what your job is, to be honest. I couldn't even try and take it.
I've spent 9 months trying to figure it out, but it seems to go better when I'm here, so mystery likes me.
Well, he's magnetic, isn't he?
I'm not mean to everyone.
So, Rozenstruik v Sakai.
Yeah.
We're straight in on this one because we've already done a catch-up last week, and we had a weekend off. What did you do
that
the
was
weekend
weird.
off?
Yeah, I just...
Did you have a weekend, or did you just roll straight through?
No, we were good. Saturday
just had the 2 more Wednesdays in.
Kids class. We still have Saturday kids classes up at the gym. That was fun, and then had a bit of family stuff to do over Sunday, get out in the sun. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was good.
I was sat in here in the dark like some kind of MMA maniac.
Vampire.
Yeah, that's why I'm so pale.
MMA Dracula.
My brain started to melt and run out of my ears.
It's going to be worth it. I tell you, it's going to be worth it. You've got some good stuff coming up, haven't you?
Well, yesterday we recorded the Adesanya Vittori breakdown for BT, but I'm going to do another one for our channel that's got other clips. We've got loads of Glory clips we can use. Glory pay-per-views coming up as well. I'm looking
Sith
forward
Lords
to that.
are fucking with us with that clips,
They've got the clamps. They've got the clamps down at the moment. We'll get around it. There's ways.
Where there's a will.
Around it. But the good thing is that we've got all the other clips from everybody else because everybody else was like,
I'm not dickheads.
We're not dickheads.
Basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We all love
Sweet.
MMA.
Yeah.
We're not Sith Lords. Anyway, so I've got the BT one coming out, which will be edited today, I would imagine, so pretty soon. And then I'm going to do another one for all 3 of the main event fights for 263. Wicked. We're going to record the War Room for this after as well, so we'll get that one out.
Yeah,
there's loads going on. And then the Rodtang thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to try and keep it under 2 hours long, but I could literally sit and talk about him all afternoon.
He's amazing, isn't he?
I mean, he's had 10 fights in one, and he's just a rocket. I love watching him. Because it's like you first watch him and you're just like, oh, this is just brutality. Yeah. He's just more brutal than everybody else. He just walks them down and he just beats them up with a nice variety of good polished Muay Thai techniques. But the more you watch him and the more you see him face different styles of opponents and then kind of go into his back catalogue, in those stadium fights, you can see how he shifts pace very quickly and how he manipulates the ranges depending on what his opponent's good at. Really good.
I mean, obviously we better not ruin it, but it was interesting to hear you talk about the metronome timing that he has. in that there's, we'll leave it. But it's
interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It's given me a new bag drill to do. I've been doing rod tang drills where I'm working to a ticker in my head, which is like a Muay Thai pace. Because obviously there's the music outside of the ring when Muay Thai fights are happening. I'm not sure what the music's called. Yeah. The performance before is a Ramoy or a Y crew.
Y crew, that's what. Yeah.
It's like a give thanks and celebration for your coaches and your
cool.
the king, I would imagine.
Yeah.
They're all about the king over there, aren't they?
You'd imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's Sarama. Yeah. I mean, I like it, but I've been a bit programmed because we used to listen to it all the time when I was at Master Lex classes. It was always going in the background. And one of those little cassette players that's got terrible sound.
Yeah. Wicked.
It's like, okay, I'll start elbowing things now, can't I? Kind of programs you. But you work to the pace of it. Very and you can see how he kind of got that pace built into his head. Really interesting. Anyway,
I look forward to seeing the full thing.
Let's talk about this card, shall we? Because there are some good fights on it.
Yeah, there are.
There are a lot of people coming off losses.
I take it back. Yeah,
that's why when you initially look at the cards, you're like, there's there's a lot of like people that are both coming off losses. It's like the get back on the wagon kind of card,
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that there aren't interesting fights, and I'm a big fan of people learning from losses. The question is, a lot of these people coming off losses, have they learned from them? And that's what we get to see.
Yeah, I think, I like it. I like the endeavour and the balls you must show to, especially coming off 2 losses and then to win the 3rd. Like, psychologically, that's clearly a tough spot to come back from. Yeah. It's tough to come back from 1 loss. People struggle with that, but it shows a certain level of fortitude to be able to turn that around and get a win. Stay true to your coaching and your methodology and get it right.
Your methodology?
Methodology.
Methodology? Methodology? Methodology?
Lab.
Mythology.
In my case, it'll be a mythology.
Talking of rallying and coming back, did you watch the CLAUDIO Puelles against Felipe Silva, the knee bar? He got smushed in that fight. He was getting hammered from the top position. So he's the first fight on the card from what I've got.
What's his name?
CLAUDIO Puelles.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was Puelles. But yeah, I'll go with it. The Peruvian guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
I don't know.
I think it's Puelles. So it was his second to last fight, and it was against Felipe Silva. Usually, if I'm researching someone and their last fight was a decision, I'll go back to their most recent finish and see how they got to it. He got the shit beaten out of him in that fight. Like his eye was all swollen up. He was fighting a guy that had Muay Thai across his chest. I think he was like a 6-time Brazilian champion, and he kept sitting to like an awkward open half guard. And he really looked at the start of the 3rd round like he just didn't want to be there. And he took a whole load of shots on on one eye socket. It really swelled up bad. And then all of a sudden there was a weird scramble, and he was on a knee bar, and he got it.
Okay. Yeah, he's got a lot of jiu-jitsu, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Both of these guys have got a bit of jiu-jitsu.
They have.
It might be a bit of a grapple off.
Yeah, I think so.
Leave it. Smashed Wyman into it with that slam.
That was
that framed slam, wasn't it? Or maybe it was the inside arm.
Yeah,
that framed
and
slam.
And then he talked about it afterwards, didn't he? About how he planned it and they drilled it. Yeah. Felt bad for Wyman in that one. 22-second slam. Yeah, he's an interesting dude. This guy is. I mean, he's got a very uncharacteristic movement to his body. You know what I mean? Like he's done a lot of salsa dancing.
Yeah, right.
He's very flexible as well. And he's got a whole variety of submissions on his record. Heel hooks, anacondas, arm triangles, kimuras, and scarf hold arm locks in his amateur career. Interesting dude. I think this is going to be a real... Although we say this, and then they'll probably both stand and trade.
Yeah, probably.
Because that's usually what happens.
We'll neutralise each other in the grapple. We'll stand up and see what happens.
Sometimes people don't want to find out who's better in their strength.
Yeah.
They'd rather test their weakness against them.
Right. I mean, Leavitt's had some good results. I think he's pretty good, man. I don't know too much about Puelles. What do you say?
I think it's Puelles.
But I think the Monkey King might come through it.
Yeah. He just looked, first of all, he's undefeated, which is going to be doing a lot, just for his mindset coming in. But the other thing as well, Puelles just didn't want to be there against Felipe Silva. I did watch his last fight as well, and he looked a bit sharper, but he still doesn't have like a there's nothing particularly terrifying about it.
No pop.
No, I mean, I didn't watch his earlier fights when he was fighting in. He's fought in some cool named shows. Inca FC.
Yeah,
that's very cool, isn't it? And 300 Sparta 6.
Yeah, I saw that.
That sounds like some kind of code, some kind of password to get into a club. Yeah, I just didn't. I don't know what happened in the Felipe Silva fight, but when I saw that, I'm like, if he gets into the trenches, he might not. He might be able to pull it out of the bag, but he might not have the intention or intensity to create opportunities for himself.
I'm going with the Monkey King.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with the Monkey King.
Dude, this Sean Woodson, how tall is he for
mate?
6'2" featherweight.
79-inch reach.
That's mad.
He's a very strange shaped human being. Very strange shaped human being. And he's got some wicked hands.
Yes.
46-3 as an amateur boxer. Really, really nice, fluid, super relaxed striking. I really enjoyed watching him. I was like, whoa, this guy looks weird. And then he started flowing. His footwork's beautiful. His hands are really, really nice.
Good takedown offense as well.
Yeah, so the Julian Rosa fight was great. I mean, it's a huge result for Julian. I thought because he took that on short notice, didn't he?
Yeah.
He took that on really short notice.
Yeah,
like the Wednesday
Rosa's
before.
Rosa's a
maybe.
veteran, though. You know, he's one of those guys that always shows up to spoil the party.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was a good performance. It was short notice.
And a massive output. Imagine coming on in short notice and then having to fight at the output that Woodson was setting.
Yeah.
It was it was a huge win for Rosa, I think.
But then he's going to have a lot of output against Zalal because Zalal never stands in front of you to trade, and his resting heart rate's about 140.
Yeah,
like he just doesn't hold still. He's like always going and always on his bike. But then like you're fighting someone who's got such a reach advantage. You've got to move at them at some point to get inside their reach.
Yeah, and I think like obviously Woodson's grappling isn't to the level that his striking is at. And Zalal has some decent grappling. He's got a few subs on his record. Like if he can get inside, get off a couple of times, and get him to the mat, then that might be an efficient way for him to be finishing this. Yeah,
I mean, it could. It might be a lot of energy wasted trying to get him to the floor, though. I mean, you know what it's like trying to take a tall person down, especially if you've not got those nice kind of lower body collapses with your wrestling game. If you're trying to lift from the waist. It's like trying to take down a dining table. There's like always a leg hits the floor somewhere. It's frustrating. Could be a waste of energy for him.
So how is he going to deal with his boxing then? He's going to kick his legs out from under him.
I would. I'd kick it.
Very skinny legs.
Beat the hell out of that calf, and I'd shift across the center line and try and chop into it as well. Try not to get pinged on the way in, because you got to think Zalal's legs are going to be about as long as Woodson's arms.
Yeah,
he's going to have to utilize that as much as he can, and his speed. There is an offset. Although Woodson's got good footwork and you can see he's got good awareness, especially with his hands. I think he could be outpaced by Zalal just purely on the movement he creates and constantly Woodson trying to chase him down, especially if he's coming from boxing. He's going to be more familiar with corralling someone into a 90 degrees. Yeah, and you can't do that against Zalal. He could keep chopping into that lead leg, and I mean it might be if there was a crowd, they might be booing it because it might seem like he's running away. Yeah, but you've got to do something to slow that lead leg down to at least make him plant, so you can.
It's a bit interesting one. The more I think about this, it's one of the more interesting ones on the card. It's quite a stark contrasting styles, isn't it? It'll be interesting to see who can figure out that rhythm and that timing and exploit it a little bit.
Yeah, you know that Woodson's just going to want to control the center though and just keep popping him with I mean, such a sniper. What a nickname! Such a reach advantage.
Yeah, huge in it. Crazy. I'm looking forward to that.
2 losses as well on. Zalal's record. He's coming off 2 losses.
2 decisions though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of which I'm pretty sure he didn't think he lost, but I thought he lost it.
Yeah. But then, you have a concept of the fight as it's playing out that might not be quite accurate.
Yeah, very true.
And plus the perception of the judges is what you're trying to predict. And if he's constantly moving laterally and jumping in and landing a few shots and then moving out. If the judges are viewing that as a lack of engagement, that could work against him as well. The good thing with Woodson, he's going to stand there and be ready to trade, so that's going to look good on the scorecards either way. And I could see this going the distance. Absolutely. Which way are you going?
Well, you've swayed me a little bit. I just wasn't that blown away by Zalal last time out. Like I thought he did a lot of movement for a lack of damage, and I just really liked how sort of odd and skilled Woodson was. Like I just sort of caught me off guard a little bit, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's some really nice work he's putting together there. But yeah, we'll see if Zalal can bring that game plan. But I think if he just stands and trays, he probably won't because he's going to move quite a lot. Then he's going to get pieced up a little bit.
Yeah.
If he can get in there and put him on his back, I just don't think Woodson has the grappling to deal with him. But I'd kind of like Woodson to come through. Kind of like to win that.
Yeah, he's an interesting dude. I like anomalies in weight classes, and someone that tall for that weight classes, especially with the experience in boxing that he's got. I'm leaning slightly towards Woodson, but I also think Zalal's not going to be in a great place with 2 decision losses. He might feel like he has to do more, and he might, find himself getting caught.
He'll get caught in his own trap then if he doesn't keep that movement that he has been doing, but he hasn't necessarily got the benefit from.
Yeah,
and he does end up standing in front of him. I think he might run into a bit of trouble.
Quite possibly.
All right, we'll see.
MARYNA MOROZ against Manon. Go on, say her name. Go on.
Firo.
Look at that, eh?
Firo.
His ancestry definitely built the Eiffel Tower with an accent like that.
With a nose like this, it's got to be somewhere in Europe around there.
Yes, Manon Fiorot.
You know what? This could be a fun fight.
Yeah,
this could be really good because
they're both very fiery.
Yeah, MOROZ she's got some good experience. She's Ukrainian national boxing team, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
And she's not quite to the same level, but the way she moves reminds me of Peter Yan.
Peter Yan, a little bit.
Just the way she's constantly off the midline. She always throws with her head off the midline. She's a
lot more twitchy than Peter Yan. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's got like a calm confidence to him, whereas she's like a little bit like there's a bit of a yeah. She was when she made, I think I called her UFC debut, and she called out. Like Joanna was there, and it was a first round armbar against Joanne Calderwood, and she jumped upon the cage, and Joanna was sitting octagon side. She was the champ at the time, and she was like, "Yeah, where was it? It must have been in."
She called Joanna out on her debut
after she won her debut.
Wow,
yeah, it was the 18th best submission of 2015. But yeah, she was all fired up, and then she went on. She lost to a decision to Valerie Latona. She's been competitive in all of her fights, but she has struggled in certain ranges with certain fighters, and like I was surprised how one-sided Firo's last fight was because I interviewed both of them. I was going to be working that one until I was
until you weren't
until I wasn't. But she these two were both in a really good place psychologically before the fight. They were both like, I'm here. I mean, Fiorot was a little bit like the interview situation was quite uncomfortable for her. She kind of, you know what I mean? It was a bit, but I was expecting it to be a far more competitive match, and Fiorot just seemed to control the range so well. She's got a lot of nice striking from a southpaw position. When she locks up, she looks strong.
Yeah. And
that head kick that she landed just kind of came over that lead shoulder.
She's got that nice counter side kick as well, straight to the mid.
Yeah, same with Michelle Waterson.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She won IMAF, didn't she? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was impressed, man. I just think this is a great matchup.
Yeah.
She's super aggressive, comes at it, like she's happy to take one to get a few off. She sort of drops her hands quite regularly though, and I just wonder with the traditional more boxing style of MOROZ is whether she might catch her a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's going to.
Even if she can get on the outside of those,
she got hit a lot in her last fight though.
Yeah,
like Fiorot got hit a lot in her last fight, and MARYNA MOROZ lands a lot in her fights, and she's not stopping anybody. I mean, her fights that she's won have all been by armbar. She's not knocked anybody out, and you've got to think that if Fiorot's game is stacked towards kicks, she can generate a lot more power. Like MARYNA MOROZ, she stands very square. She's very kind of twitchy and there's like forward energy when she's moving, but there's definitely a space for that lead leg to creep over that lead shoulder, and she's very square for that side kick. And you know, someone that's got that kind of kick, they can throw it so it looks like it's coming, and then whoosh.
Yeah,
I can see it. I can see Firo actually lighting her up and being a bit too much for her.
Yeah,
and then I think I could see Moroz trying to close distance and clinch her.
She's quite a dominating woman, isn't she?
Big
like,
old
yeah, she's
delts
like in good shape, like thick shape, and she pushes forward, and she's quite imposing. That was the word I was looking for. She's quite imposing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This is good. This is good.
In a row as well.
Yeah.
Lost her debut.
I feel like MOROZ is a level up from Leonardo a little bit though.
Yeah. No, I think she is, but I also didn't really think that Firo was really challenged in that fight either. So and you know, I mean, Leonardo's 8-2. Like she came through Invicta, didn't she?
I'm not sure.
Researching it. Yeah, she came through Invicta, and she, you know, she was competitive in Invicta. She fought on Bellator a couple of times, or just once on Bellator. Yeah, I expected it to be a really competitive fight, and it just wasn't. Which was surprising.
It was a massacre to a degree, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It could have been stopped a couple of times. You know, fair play to Leonardo. She's tough.
Oh yeah,
because she took some trauma in that fight for sure. Yeah. Good
stoppage though. I mean, she was like head kick just took her out of it, and then a follow up flurry.
Yeah, a lot of power.
Yeah,
Firo. All right, we'll go with Firo. You know what I was going to say is, if you say Ukrainian national boxing team, you can instantly imagine what that gym looks like, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
100%. You know exactly what it looks like.
Like a big old brick sports hall, painted white.
Yeah, or with like that green, like
less than lime
green, less than lime green halfway up the wall, and some Swedish bars on the wall going down one side. Yeah, for sure. Beautiful. I'd love to go and train there.
It's a lot like Jan's place in Poznan where he used to train, Yeah, very much like that.
Yeah, we went out to
kind of Soviet feeling.
We went out to Dansk in Poland for a training camp once, and we basically trained in somewhere like that. It was wicked. Yeah, so good, so good. Cryotherapy on site as well.
Nice. Cryotherapy? You mean like ice baths? Like bags of ice?
No. This is before This is before cryotherapy was cool. This was like they were the first commercially available people to do it. This was 2007, 8, something like that. So before the whole thing sort of happened, and it was 10 of you in a room at minus 130 or whatever it was, and then you did a little circuit next door. So you froze yourself down, went back out, did a little circuit, got the blood regenerating everything, back in, froze yourself right down, back out, did a little circuit. It's good, man.
Sounds awful.
We wrote everything off because the Polish translator took us out on the piss. And then all the training games were just a waste of time. Absolute waste of time. People, It was, I don't know if I've ever
as long as you enjoyed yourself.
It was, Well, we might have said this before. We scouted that place in the winter and there was nothing. It was just desolate, nothing at all. But in the summer, it's the main tourist attraction in Dansk.
Oh, yeah.
So we come back, and there's girls in bikinis, and there's bars, and everyone's on the piss, and we've got like 48 professional rugby players with us, and they're just like, "You're bringing us here for camp?" We're like,
it was a surprise holiday.
This is not how we thought this was going to go at all. And predictably, everyone got shit faced. There you go.
Yeah.
Mason Jones.
Mason Jones.
Yeah.
What a fucking horrible fight this is.
Yeah.
Alain Patrick is just he's just a horrible fight. Just for anybody. He's one of those really kind of spindly, athletic guys that just he doesn't know what he's doing, so you can't predict what he's gonna do.
I think Mason's got too much for him.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Of course, I hope so. Because Mason, he's Cage Warriors family. I really hope he does well. But I just feel like this is
could be a banana skin.
It could be horrible, especially because like Mason Jones is coming off a loss. It was his UFC debut. More pressure's on him now. Whereas on the flip side, Alain Patrick.
Wait, what?
What?
Didn't Mason win his first fight?
No, lost the decision.
Did he lose that decision?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on airplane mode. I can't check. That was a good fight.
It was a great fight.
I really enjoyed it. I actually came out of that thinking he'd won that fight.
But Mike Davis is a great fighter. But it was his, it was a rough debut.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
But then he came in as a double champ from Cage Warriors.
Mason was good in that fight.
Mason's a great fighter. It was just a bit of a step too far at that point.
Yeah, okay.
You know? I mean, this would have been a better
close
debut.
decision.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, it was unanimous, but that's
so
still
weird. Yeah, I thought
he could have still won a round out of the 3.
I really like Mason. He's got that. He goes high, low, high, changes angle, and then finishes on a kick, and then just gets back out of there.
Yeah,
he's got a way. Like he's done. That's one of his rhythms that he uses quite a lot. Yeah. He's good, man.
Yeah, real talented guy. But Alan Patrick's just. You know what I mean?
Been around, isn't he?
Yeah, he's awkward. He's not going to be shaken here. He's coming off 2 losses, but he ain't bothered. He's I mean, he must be getting on a bit as well. He's 37 as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like I know probably from the UFC's perspective, they're like, oh, well, Alan Patrick's a good matchup because he's coming off 2 losses and he's towards the end of his career. But sometimes these ragged old dogs they've just got nothing to lose.
He's still around at 37 for a reason.
He'll go out on a flying knee. Don't give a damn. Why not? He's in it for the bonus money at this point.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? He's probably he'd make double bonus money from his. He'd make double if he won. Hang on, he'd make double money if he won a bonus than he would if he won his win bonus. Like, say he's probably with the fights he's on. He's probably on.
I get you.
20 and 20, 25 and 25.
Give me
something
that 50k.
Like that.
What are they at 50k bonuses?
50k, yeah.
Unless you ask nicely.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I genuinely hope Mason wins this. I really like where he's going. He's a tough fucker, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's, him and Mike Davis, they battered each other in that fight.
Yeah,
and
they did.
Yeah,
and that's another thing as well. Is he loves a scrap, and that's another thing that concerns me a bit. Like, you need to be a bit smart. With
it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? You're gonna have to have a bit of it because if you don't like a scrap, you're in the wrong game.
Exactly.
Too much of it, and the point of it is not to get punched in the head.
Yeah. Oh, he loves a scrap.
Yeah,
he does. I mean, like we've been at some. The Raptors are in the room. I'm not pointing at nobody. He had a few fights on Cage Warriors, and I thought to myself, they were great fights to watch. They were a lot of fun, but he could have been a bit more concise in his approach and probably, saved himself a couple of stitches.
Yeah.
He needs to level up in this one against Alan Patrick.
Yeah, right.
For sure he does. And, coming off a loss to Mike Davis, he's the kind of guy that's going to go back into the gym and he's going to be on the mats every day, fixing those issues that he ran up against in Mike Davis. And he'll be better. There's no doubt. But it's the wildness of Alan Patrick makes me nervous. So weird.
I swear he won that fight.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. He don't get a foot under the chin on the weigh-in stage when Alan Patrick decides he's going to do a backflip or something.
Yeah,
he's a backflipper, isn't he?
Fair dues. 37 is still backflipping.
Still backflipping at 37.
Go on.
Not many people can say that.
No, definitely.
Maybe Sammo Hung. That's about it. Okay, so you go Mason Jones because we can't pick any other way, can we?
No, I'm going Mason Jones.
Absolutely.
I do, not because he's from this side of the world, but I think he's en route to being a very, very good, stable fighter in the UFC.
Absolutely.
There's nothing about that makes me think, oh shit, he's a hot shot. He's going to go up and he's win the belt within 6 fights, 7 fights. But he's on a journey. He's on a tier journey where I think he can be a very good UFC fighter.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Francisco Trinaldo moving up to 170.
Yeah.
Take on Muslim Salikov. I'm a big fan of Muslim Salikov.
Yeah, I know why.
Because he's the king of Kung Fu.
Because he's the king of Kung Fu.
He's the king of Kung Fu.
Absolutely.
I thought Jackie Chan was the king of Kung Fu, but...
Well, I'll have to fight Salikov for it. Salikov.
So,
he's good, isn't he?
Who?
Salikov.
Oh, Salikov's very good.
He's beaten Melvin, he's beaten Nordine, he's beaten Staropoli.
Lots of experience.
He's 17-2.
He's very calm. He's very measured. He's got he's very calm and measured, but he'll still throw a spinning kick if he thinks it's going to land.
A calm spinning kick.
Oh, yeah. A calculated spinning kick. They're the most terrifying.
Right.
I'm a big fan of Salikov. I just think he's a very sharp individual. Francisco Trinaldo is considerably smaller, just generally, and I think he's very, very hittable.
Do you think Trinaldo is caught between the weight classes?
Yes.
And he finds it too hard to go down, and he's just not a big enough dude to go up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's at that age as well where, keep boiling yourself down to that weight class is not going to help. I mean, he's in his, 38 now?
Yeah.
And I've got him pulled up.
He's had some good
42.
Oh, is he?
Francisco Trinaldo's 42. Of course he's not a lightweight anymore.
Nah.
No 42-year-old lightweights. Maybe Mystery will be a lightweight at 42. But definitely not. He's built like a little tank, isn't he? But he did. This is the other thing as well. He did miss weight in his last fight, and that was the stop the fight where he got a few free punches at the end.
Well, I mean that layers into that. You don't need that. You don't need any extra punches at that age.
No, have 5 extra pounds on your fucking brain trauma.
Yeah. Cheers.
So your stomach, Jesus.
I heard. Yeah. Wow. I heard that.
These mics are amazing, aren't they?
Amazing.
Have we got a third mic in his stomach?
Wow.
Yeah.
Eat some food, boys.
Isn't it, right? Crazy.
I can't really see it going any other way, can you?
I'm going Muslim Salikov by back kick.
By back
Spinning
kick?
back
Wow,
kick to
precise.
the body, fold him in two.
On MMA Fanatics, you can pick the way they lose, the way they win, but they can't pick that precisely. Spinning back kick is not one of those options.
It should be a notes option.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
right.
We should
a bonus.
We should have bonus points
bonus,
we can give, like a gold star if your actual prediction comes true.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I could see that happening. I could see him lining him up, and Trinaldo's a little bit. I'm fucking coming for you in a moment, and then a spinning back kick to the solar plexus.
Trinaldo's not that great a fighter, but he's had some good wins, and he's lost to some like really respectable people. Yeah, I don't know.
He's another one of those Alan Patrick guys.
Yeah,
he's got old man strength. He does jiu-jitsu every day. Like you'll go and find one of these guys in the UK. These guys manifest as boxers, right?
Yeah.
Like you go into a boxing gym and there's an old boy on the bag
and their hands are
65,
calcifying hard as fuck.
That's it. They're good for doing three things: holding a dart, holding a beer, and punching a bag. That's it.
Yeah.
And they just boof, 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 and they've been doing that same workout 14 rounds for how many years, and they've just hardened themselves into doing that thing. And then you want to get one of those guys in for body sparring. He's going to do 14 rounds of body sparring on you.
The same
it's
pace.
The same kind of thing, you know what I mean? It's the same characteristic of human being. Like he's just MMA for 30 years probably. If you look at his entire training, if he started with jiu-jitsu or
it's like you're acclimatized to a certain level, and once you're sort of there, you've done it for so long, you never really dip underneath that. That's just, you can do that forever.
Mm-hmm. It's that gnarled experience that you only get if you've had 30 years in the game. You've got calluses on your calluses.
Nice. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to have enough for...
no, there is no callus
Salikov
on his solar plexus.
No.
And there's a callus.
There's a heel coming his way.
Yeah, a calloused heel.
Heel callus.
For sure. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
This fight is a fun one as well.
Yeah,
I think it's a really rough one for Ilia Latifi because I think Tanner Boser is very, very good.
Yeah, I just think he's gonna be. It's going to be a blur for him. Tanner's fast. He's agile, especially at especially he's unorthodox at this weight.
Yep.
You don't see that picture very often. So my thoughts would be Latifi wouldn't have seen this picture. Like this heavyweight's moving fast. He's very, very agile. He's very athletic.
Mullet flowing in the wind.
Yeah, beautiful mullet.
I mean, that is distracting, in itself.
I used to have a great mullet.
Used to. Keeps it in a box under the bed now. His fight against Andrei Arlovski was a frustrating performance for him because he didn't get the Andrei Arlovski that a lot of other fighters have gotten recently.
Yeah.
I actually got a message off Andre after the fight. He watched the War Room.
Nice.
He was like, I followed the plan. I'm like, it's nothing to do with me, my friend. But well done, congratulations.
Then he got a message off Tanner. Yeah. Motherfucker, he followed the plan.
Yeah.
Shut up.
But he fought a very smart game plan.
Yeah.
That's what I always try and put forward in the War Room is just the most logical game plan for each fighter if they're going to be most successful.
Yeah.
And for Andrei Arlovski, he pretty much did it. It was he stayed light. He didn't over-engage.
Do you think Tanner would have been preparing for almost a completely different Arlovski, a more aggressive, more forward moving Arlovski?
Yep. I think he was expecting the charge, double right hand spin,
which would be beautiful for Tanner. Right? He'd eat that up all day.
Counter
angle off, counter. Yeah, yeah.
And he's fast and he's agile. He's got good lateral movement. He's very good at moving away and drawing people onto him, which is not something you see very much at heavyweight.
No,
like Andrei's just he's too much of a veteran to fall for that though. And he came in with his mind focused on what he needed to do. Because, I mean, Andre's used to being thrown to these new contenders coming up. Everybody wants an Andrei Arlovski on their record. You know?
Yeah,
it's
still
the
a
first gold star
weighty name, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the first gold star on your heavyweight name badge, isn't it, at McDonald's? It's like, Andrei Arlovski, you're on the first step to becoming a champion.
Transition 3 generations.
There you go.
Arlovski, pretty much.
JDS, that's your next step.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
Alistair Overeem. You got 3 veterans on your record now. Now we'll give you someone that's probably your same age.
Yeah.
You know, I think Talibos is very slick. He's a very good striker, and I just don't think he got the Andrei Arlovski he was expecting. But I think he will get the Ilia Latifi he's expecting.
Well, there isn't that many sides to Ilia, right?
It's going to be wrestling.
Yeah.
He's going to try and take you down.
I mean, how's that going to go if he does get his hands on him? He's going to be in a bit of trouble, isn't he? Like, his anti-wrestling is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. His footwork's going to solve half of the problem for him. And you've got to think, I mean, that, like, Latifi's last fight was his first fight at heavyweight against Derek Lewis. You know, like, he's not a massive heavyweight. I mean, he's probably 5'10".
Yeah, but Tanner's not massive either.
Not massive. But I always think he looks like, I'm watching him, I'm like, he's moving really well for a big guy. Like, he hits like a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean,
it's one of those hits with speed, not strength.
Exactly that. And he's precise. He's got a karate background. He's got a nice snap on his punches.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's tough for Latifi here.
Yeah,
I think Boser takes this most times out of 10.
Yeah. I think Latifi's he's having a roll of a dice moving up to heavyweight, to be honest. Because, I mean, he had a rough 205 career, didn't he? Came in on short notice against Jan and got blasted in the ribs.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a rough day.
You don't want that, do you?
You don't want that. Not at all.
Ever.
Not by Polish power.
No.
I saw him kicking the shit out of some heavyweights when I was over there at his gym.
Where is his gym?
He was training in Poznan, but I think he's moved now.
Yeah.
Maybe he's back in Warsaw. I don't know. Montana De La Rosa, who's Elevation, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Check it out.
Is smashing it on the channel. People are loving it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. The Elevation full movie is out right now.
There is so much wisdom in that.
Yeah.
You've got to just go and drink it in.
It's very cool, isn't it? It's very cool.
Very cool.
People are loving it. Like the comments is off the charts. They're very, very positive.
He spent all week setting up fake accounts.
Yeah.
He's watched it 14.
I see you figured out bots.
He's watched it 14,000 times himself.
No, it's very cool.
Really
people are really enjoying it. We'll have to get you back out soon. Get you to some other gyms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good content. Love
We'll
it.
have to let him fly the nest again.
Yeah. We're due a break anyway, aren't we?
I think he's due a break from us, to be honest.
It's been a week.
Montana De La Rosa.
Yeah.
I've just said that. Against Ariane Lipski.
Freaking aggressive Lipski, isn't she?
Yes.
She comes for it. She closes distance super fast. Bit leapy, do you think, sometimes? Sometimes she will leap into that.
A little bit.
With a chance of getting caught with something pretty hard.
Yeah. A little bit. I mean, De La Rosa is not going to really sting her with anything particularly powerful. I think more than anything, it's the ground game that she's got to watch out for against De La Rosa.
De La Rosa's a bit awkward, isn't she? She's got a funny posture, striking posture.
Yeah. Doesn't look comfortable.
No.
And or mechanically sound either.
No.
Doesn't look like she's going to really generate a great deal of force. But she is tough. I mean, she takes a lot of shots to get the fight into the situations that she needs it.
Yeah.
And Lipski's just got a loss from Shevchenko for ground and pound. If I'm De La Rosa, I'm thinking I'm going to have a really rough first round.
Antonina was it? Yeah.
But that's, I mean, that's, if it was Valentina, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, she lost by ground and pound. But Antonina Shevchenko's not the same beast.
Yeah.
It's not
some glimpses in that fight, man. Lipski was, it was a tough fight. It was a very even fight for a fair bit of it. But I thought there were some glimpses with the striking, especially that, they were positive for her. And I know she lost it. I know she got beaten up relatively badly by the end, but yeah, there was a little bit in there.
I'd be confident if I was De La Rosa that if it hit the floor, I'd be all good.
Yeah,
for sure.
And with that aggressive nature, maybe she's going to close. She's going to look to close distance. She could overstep the mark a little bit, and she could get put on her back with relative ease.
What was that fight? She got cut really bad. Was it her last fight? I've got a memory of De La Rosa getting cut really quite bad.
Oh, she nearly she knee-barred Luana.
Yes.
Luana Carolina. Is it Luana Carolina?
Yeah, it is. Look at it. I was just waiting. I've got it sitting right in front of me. I wasn't going to prompt you.
Have you motherfucking got it set right in front? Why didn't you just say Carolina? Why didn't you just say it?
128 the first round. Happened on the 18th
that was horrific.
2020. It was horrific.
That was horrific. That is my least favourite submission. Leave my knees alone. Fucked anyway. Any more? Yeah. So what do you reckon, De La Rosa?
I kind of feel like De La Rosa might tough it out. I think she might have a really rough first round. I can see her getting smashed up a bit with elbows.
I think
maybe opened up. You reckon? Yeah.
Yeah, standing. I think she get finished standing.
Oh, I don't know. I could just see her managing just to scramble this to the floor and
ragdoll it a bit.
Triangle or something.
Oh, okay.
Has she got a triangle on her record? Let me have a look. Her husband's on the UFC roster as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, did they both win on the same night?
Bars. I don't remember. So she's got arm bars. She beat Rachel Ostovich with. Oh my goodness! How did you make that noise?
Yeah, I don't know.
We've even detached.
You know what? It's because I looked over at Mystery at the same time, so I wasn't. My depth perception was momentarily gone.
Is that what it was?
It was, yeah.
Sounds
normally better than
bullshit
that.
to me.
No, it was.
Yeah,
it's on video. I'll show you.
It still sounds like an excuse. Anyway, she's got arm bars on her record, so I'm going to say that she's going to arm bar Lipsky because she's not going to triangle. So no, I think she's going to win by triangle. Triangle arm bar.
There you go.
Calling it right now.
Right.
Second round.
That isn't an option.
Late second round.
MMA Fanatics.
It's not an option, but I've put it in the notes section.
That doesn't exist.
It's on. It exists now.
It does now.
It would exist
Podcast
forever
notes.
now. It's been recorded. Do you think about that? Everything you say right now is being recorded, and it now will exist forever.
No, but what I do think about is somewhere, someone has a copy of every text message or message you've ever sent.
That makes you far more concerned than it does me.
You've just got your poker face, and I know you're sending some dirty messages.
I've got
it's frightening.
I've got a photograph of you on my phone, and I'll show it you, and I'll see if you can remember when you sent it.
Jesus Christ!
It's one of those looks. That's the look. That's the face.
What's going on here?
That's the face. That's the face.
Oh dear. Anyway, I'll edit that bit out.
Okay, so which way are you going? Lipsky then?
I'm going Lipsky. You're going De La Rosa.
I'll go De La Rosa.
Right.
Okay.
Oh God. Hold on. AMIRKHANI, I'll quickly pull up his topology photo.
I don't need to. I know what it is.
So good.
I know what it is.
It's so good.
This is why they're bringing someone new into the UFC so he can get a fucking
unbelievable
win on his record. He's very marketable.
Very marketable, isn't he? Yeah. Boys, you gotta put that in so everyone knows what I'm going on about. But it's a thing of beauty.
He's the opposite end of cringe to Henry Cejudo.
Just
though.
Chilling.
But he's genuine.
Yeah.
But it seems so. He's almost a parody of himself.
If it was Triple C, it'd be contrived.
He's almost.
But he's pulling it off. Some people can pull shit off, and some people cannot pull shit off.
That's the thing.
It's just the way it is.
His confidence just oozes out of him.
Yeah.
But he travels around gyms. Like he's been in a few gyms, and there's often a bit of friction there. He was at All Stars for a while, and then he was at SBG for a while.
Is he not at SBG anymore?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I know he took a lot of time off and spent a bunch of time boxing as well.
Right, because he's a savage wrestler, isn't he?
He's a very, very good fighter. He's got great takedowns and he's got really good submissions.
Basically, if that happens, you're in a lot of trouble when he just doesn't let go. I've seen him a couple of times sort of reap away from the wall, get countered, roll. He's just, as long as he's got his hands together, he just rolls and rolls and rolls, and he's back up on his feet, and then he gets the takedown.
Yeah.
He got wrecked by my boy Shane Burgos, though, didn't he?
Yeah, most people do that, don't they?
Yeah, I love Shane Burgos.
Yeah. And he had a rough one against Barbosa as well.
Yeah. Yeah. He's I didn't know that he'd bounced around all those gyms because he's a bit prickly dude.
He's a bit abrasive.
Yeah.
He's a bit abrasive. It's like people really love him. Like he's got a big following and people really do love him. But then a lot of people, I mean I know a few people that he's made feel quite uncomfortable. Let's put it that way. Like he's a bit, all right, dude, calm down.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
There's always one. We've got a couple of them.
If you're a ringer, they'll be in your inbox in a second.
Oh, really?
For sure. And he'll be in whatever else he can get himself into as well. But he's not always the most subtle with it. I like him, but he's got some maturing to do as a fighter. I think his skills. I think his skills are far in advance of his comprehension of
what he's trying to do.
His purpose. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think he could be really good, but he also can't be the leader of his own team. I hope he is still at SBG because, I mean, we were talking about it today. You know, every now and then you get those superstars, but you need a person that can get through to them.
Yeah.
And John Kavanagh did it with Conor.
Yeah.
You know, you read John Kavanagh's book, and he was going around to Conor's house to get him come over to the gym. Yeah, you know, it's like he might be the right person for AMIRKHANI, and MAKHAN might have just been looking for that mentor, which is why he was traveling around.
It's hard, man. I've seen it a lot in pro sports that the hyper talented guys don't see things like the non-hyper talented. They just don't see it, and that's why they're so good. They see their perception of everything is different. The perception of the game or the fight or life, or whatever is just slightly off kilter. And you know, we've talked about the madness of greatness, and you need a little bit. You know, you're not going to get that from me because I'm not going to be a superstar at something. I'm going to be good at stuff, but you're not going to get that madness. You know, there's a payoff for these things. Yeah, and a lot of the time, those guys irritate head coaches because the head coach is looking for stability and bringing everyone and get you know, and the X Factor guys, they're difficult to manage. Yeah, they're very difficult to manage, but they give you the X Factor. Yeah, can't get that anywhere else.
Kind of outliers. You know what I mean? Like there's a cost to them excelling in one thing. There's a cost. There's some kind of counterbalance.
A lot of the time too is they feed off. It's ironic because they get a lot of praise from the public because of the X Factor, and they normally have that. They have that draw. People are drawn to them because they have X Factor and stuff, but they function off genuine praise, and that's what they're craving. It's a thing inside, and that's what they're chasing. That's why they're who they are. They're working off praise. That's what they're doing it for.
You know, it was amazing so I went out to Ireland a couple of times. I went to Dublin, and it was the time in which I went were like about 2 years apart, and it kind of straddled the peak of McGregor before and after. And the opinion difference was crazy.
Really,
it shifted so much.
Yeah,
like when I arrived there the first time, it was, you know, he was starting to peak. I think it was around the Mendes fight, and everyone was like, "This guy's amazing. He's representing us all. It's awesome that he's bringing awareness to MMA in Ireland and all these kind of things." I mean, obviously, the best people to talk to are taxi drivers, because then you get like the filtered opinions of everybody that they've driven around in the past 3 weeks. And the general opinion was everybody's on board and we all love him. And then a couple of years later when I went back, I think I was doing a book signing or something, and it was just, no, he's a shithead. It was like the whole opinion had changed of him.
He was punching the old guy in the pub era.
Well, yeah, I mean, that didn't help. That didn't help. But then he's one of those old boxing gym guys, isn't it? That's why he took the punch so well.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, he's just...
Maybe. Finish his pint.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're I've normally resonate pretty well with the X Factor guys, and sort of you just can't try and fit them into a box. They're just not. Some people are not meant for the box.
Yeah,
you know, you have to pour petrol on the things they're good at and pour water on the things they're not so good at, and just try and bring them close enough that they're not disruptive to the program, whatever program it is.
Yeah.
And they're, you know, you need them. You need them, otherwise you're a mid-table team, or you're a mid-roster fighter, you know, you're a mid-roster fight team.
Yeah. How does that reflect from going from a team sport where you've got, it's like MAKHAN and AMIRKHANI. So say if you take MAKHAN and you put him into a team, the stability of the team will help support the chaos of his game. But if he's the manifestation of chaos in himself, like that then becomes problematic. Like if MAKHAN was 90% Glover to Shearer and 10% MAKHAN, just as a, you know, or 80%, 70, or, you know, 80 or 70, whatever. If there was a larger balance of stability, like a team would give the outlier players, then that's when they're beneficial. But then that makes them inconsistent as solo sports, would you not say?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, no, I agree, and it's hard. The thing is too is because the nature of X Factor people is they're not consistent. So sometimes you get 90% X Factor, and sometimes you get 50% X Factor. Depends, where the mood is sort of taken. It ultimately always comes down to relationships within the camp, the respect for the head coaches and the assistant coaches and the rest of the team. And there's normally space for everyone, but you have to be pretty cutthroat if the program is suffering for the individual, because the certainly in team sports, and really if you think about it, in MMA,
it's a team sport until the gate closes.
It sort of is a team sport because you can't do it on your own. You can't do it without a coach. You can't do it without your training partners. You can't do it without your bodies. You need bodies around to do it. So it is a team sport right up until the door shuts.
Yeah,
which is the beauty of it. And if someone is affecting, no matter how good they are, if they're affecting the culture of the team, you have to be cutthroat with them, and you have to get rid of them, because the minute you put someone above the team is gone. Yeah, it's dissolved.
Yeah,
and it's you just can't do it. Not that I'm saying this is what I make.
No, I mean I know we're just kind of gone off on a bit of a tangent
principle,
here,
yeah.
But he is very much a star player. MAKHAN is, and you can tell that when he's around fight week as well. He he's got an entourage and he carries himself that way, and he dresses himself as a star player. I wonder sometimes where that comes from, what his psychology is actually like. Yeah, because I think there's quite a bit of insecurity in him as well, and I think that
no doubt.
I think that's probably reflected in the relationships he's developed with teams and with coaches. So, I mean, if he's still with SBG, then I'm hoping he's got a good thing with Cav, which would make sense.
I mean, I wonder what he'd be. I don't know if he's been there already, but I wonder what it'd be like if he dropped him in an 82, you dropped him in at elevation with all those other big names roaming around. Suddenly, you're not the big dog. I'd imagine he would find that quite uncomfortable. Probably the best thing you could do for him for a period of time, but I don't think he would survive there.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Interesting one. So this guy he's coming off 2 wins.
Yeah.
He has got a loss to Billy Quarantillo, though, on the Contender Series. He went away and he fought an LFA, picked up a split decision loss, and then he's fought twice on LFA, and he's got 2 wins. A first round stoppage and a retirement.
On the stool.
And he was both the moderate favourite going into those fights. The last guy he fought was 20-10, though, so he's got a lot of experience.
He's got I watched the fight last night that he retired the guy on the stool, and he's got a really nice crisp right hand and a really nice crisp right rear body kick, and that was the only thing I really picked out of him. He's quite tall and rangy. He's got a bit of power. Some
subs on his record.
Yeah,
he's going to need wrestling in this fight if he's going to decide where it goes, though, for sure.
My sort of gut feel is AMIRKHANI would have a little bit too well rounded. Yeah. I think so. Depending where he's striking is, he could outstrike him a little bit, but
he's the main event of the prelim card as well. He's been put in this feature position, and they've found an opponent that's probably suitable for him to get a spectacular
Do you think there's
win.
a undercurrent of wanting him to be,
for sure, a good-looking guy that he's Kurdish, but he fights out of Finland. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think he's got such a big following. He's got a really big fan base that he's a different demographic to what the UFC are currently tapping into.
Yeah, useful to him.
Definitely. I mean,
until he's not.
You can, this one is a fun fight. Tom Breeze against Antonio Arroyo.
Do you know Tom?
Know him? I mean, I've
just
chatted
from around
to him
the straps and stuff.
Yeah. We've had a few conversations and stuff. I've never trained with him.
I just heard he's a really good cerebral coach. Like, he thinks about the game. He's deep in the game.
Deep generally. Yeah. I mean, last time I spoke to him, we had a brief conversation about his fight, and then we were talking about philosophy for the rest of it.
Right.
And he's a very, very cerebral individual. He reads a lot. He's very quiet. He's very stoic, but he watches everything and he studies everything. And the thing that always it gives me a better understanding of his character is the way that his team view him, because there are some killers on that team and they all call him the general.
Right.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
we haven't got a head coach, but he's the guy.
He's the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell that with all of his skills as well. I mean, he's got such good boxing. I mean, you saw the KB Buller fight, dropped him with a jab.
Yeah.
He's got wicked boxing. He's got very, very good jiu-jitsu. And I think his jiu-jitsu is better than it has shown in the UFC as well. I just think he gets caught. We've had this conversation a bit. I think he gets caught up in jiu-jitsu too much when he's not grappling for MMA.
Grappling for MMA.
Yeah. And I think if he was a bit more aggressive and assertive with it, but that's where his confidence comes in. He doesn't realize how good he is.
Yeah. He's struggling a bit, isn't he?
It's only in his mind though. That's the thing. It's not a skill thing. He's got the skills across the board. And he's big enough. I mean, he was 6'3".
He's a big dude, yeah.
He used to be a welterweight. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he's a tall dude. He's got a really well-rounded game. And if you could just give him 20% more confidence, or like
give him a bit of AMIRKHANI.
Yeah, exactly. If he had a bit of that star player, he'd be lethal.
He got mauled last time out a bit by Akhmedov, didn't he? Which is what he does.
Yeah. But Akhmedov is, he's another welterweight that moved up to middleweight.
Yeah.
And this guy's huge. Like Arroyo's a big dude. The one saving grace is that he got manhandled in his last fight. He was taken down over and over again.
With their own win.
Yeah.
What a weird fight that was.
Weird fight.
6'3" and 5'6".
Yeah.
It was so strange.
It was odd.
And it was like, how do you say his name?
Antonio
Arroyo. He was like, honestly, it looked like he was like, "You're too small to even trouble me."
Right? He didn't even look like he was bothered.
Like he was kind of laughing at him. He was like, "What the fuck are you going to do? Look at you. Oh, I'm on my back again. Oh, shit." And he'd get up and he'd do the same thing. Like he'd landed a lot of shots and he could not put him away. And Duran Win just like basically ragdolled him. It was very, very strange. I mean, off the back of watching that, I can't see how he can beat Tom Breeze skill for skill, for sure. Now, whether Tom can put that together into a performance is something you're alluding to, but skill for skill, there's no contest.
No. But it's a presence thing. It's a presence thing. That's my concern for Tom. Is that Arroyo's he's a big dude. He stands big. I don't know how his confidence is going to be. He's coming off 2 losses now. And Tom Breeze is an imposing character if you look at his skills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that makes sense. He's a dangerous individual, but when you stand in the octagon with him, you're not like,
oh shit.
Yeah. He's not dominating the space like he should with the skill set that he's got. I think it should be a win for Tom, but Tom's got to show up. He's got to show up and he's got to put it on him. And he should box him up. If he decides he wants to take him down, it should be quite easy to take him down.
Yeah, and probably sub him, I would suggest.
Yeah. My concern would be that Tom gets in there and he looks at me, he's like, he's a big motherfucker. And then he kind of backs off a little bit and lets Arroyo get into the fight.
Yeah. It's just weird, isn't it? Like, that's the sort of thing people who don't know about combat would think, oh, he's big. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you sort of think when you don't know that doesn't really make that much difference.
Yeah, I think there is a benefit in sometimes the fighter not being as smart as Tom Breeze is.
Yeah, right.
And I think we see the same thing reflected in Leon. But Leon's got a bit of an edge. Like, you can see the edge with Leon. Like, you can see if you pushed him, he'd smack you in the face.
Yeah,
Whereas I feel like you could push Tom a bit too far, and he wouldn't do anything. Which
You'd
is
have
not
to overstep the mark a couple of times before he paid for it.
Exactly. Like, but both of them, I think they struggle from the same kind of thing, which is a bit over-analysis. Like, Leon gets caught up over-analysing his opponent and seeing too many options and then not actually doing enough. Where, like, a fight where Darren Till comes and stops Cowboy in the first round, Leon beats him up consistently for 25 minutes.
Right.
That's the point of difference. And it's not that Leon couldn't have blasted him out in there in the first round.
Yeah.
He just needed to go and get it.
I mean, I hope Tom comes through.
Of course.
I've never met him.
I
don't know him. My perception of him is I would like him. I do like him.
You would like him. He's a good dude. He's a real sharp guy. He'll make a great coach as well. I just hope he fulfills his potential as an athlete as well. Because he'll be a great coach regardless. He already is a great coach from what I understand. his potential as an athlete is what I want to see, because he could be very, very good. If I could avatar him, if I could give him my unreasonable confidence,
goes a long way.
My unreasonable self-esteem, give him that, I'd be like, oh shit, I'm deadly.
Yeah, right.
But then he actually would be deadly instead of me going, oh, I'm deadly, and I'm like actually a bit old now. You know what I mean?
So you are old.
I'm old. I mean, not fucking ancient like you. I mean, you know.
Oh, it's weird. I thought you said
What are
you
you,
weren't old.
39 and 4 days older than me or something?
4 days. We settled on 4 days, didn't we?
4 days.
I think you like Dusko. Oh,
I
no,
do.
So do you think Tom's going to come through and win that, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think Dusko seems like someone you would like.
I do like him. He's a real sharp dude as well, and he's a good grappler, but he's not really needed it.
Yeah.
It was one of those kind of circumstances where every time you spoke to him, it's like, well, I mean, you know, I could probably just take him down and submit him, but I've not needed to. He's
got some very. This is going back to something we haven't spoke about for a while, but the position of all positions in the standing clinch, the single necktie, he's mastered it, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he does some serious damage from that position.
Yeah,
horrible.
He does. And very strong as well. Just naturally a very strong individual. And you know, I mean, Daquan Townsend, that was his opportunity to really show his ground game a little bit.
Yeah,
he was just all over him. And I think he just underestimated Soriano. I think he underestimated Soriano. It was a bit of a roll of the dice kind of circumstance, and you know.
Who's that?
Oh, someone's beeping.
It's got to be you.
Yeah, it might be me.
It's all the ladies calling him. Yes, he did. Yeah, Daquan Townsend lost 2 brothers.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, both of them shot. Rough. Really rough.
That is rough.
So there was a moment after that fight where, you don't really get to appreciate these moments because they don't always catch them on camera, but it was Jason Herzog was the referee. And no matter who's fighting, it doesn't matter. He's not invested either way, but he always feels for the loser.
Right.
Always. And you can always see there's that moment where you're waiting for the camera to come back on. He's got both the fighters' wrists, and this is the fella that's won by knockout, and the guy to the next is all dejected, hands on his hips and all down, and you can always see Herzog kind of looking at him like, I get it, buddy.
You'll be right, bro.
You'll be fine, man.
You'll be right, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
next time. The sun's going to rise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which way are you going on this
nice
one?
Character.
Yes, it is. What do you know about
Rodriguez, he's huge. Great shape. He's a bit clunky. He's just a bit... Yeah, but he has got some power.
Yeah.
But he is a bit clunky.
Sanford MMA, though.
Yeah.
Mr. Hoofed.
I watched him against Jordan Williams last night, and he got picked apart a little bit.
Did he?
Yeah. I can't imagine him having enough to trouble Dusko, to be honest. Although,
I watched that fight. I remember that one against Jordan Williams.
Dusko gets hit a lot.
He does, but that's because he's never been stopped, I think. He's coming off his first knockout loss.
Oh, this is not so bad.
It's like, oh no, I can get knocked out. I think, you know, sometimes there's a bit of a recklessness, especially if you've never been knocked out. You're just like, oh, well, you know, I rolled the dice on this one because they usually come off worse, or they always come off worse. Might be a very different version. We might see him grappling a lot more.
Right. Yeah. So that's the only other thought. I think it's Dusko's to win.
Yeah.
Depending on how he comes back from, you know, the last result.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how he's develops, and like you say, whether he goes back to grappling.
Yeah. It's going to make him better regardless. He's just that kind of guy. There's no doubt about it. I like Dusko. I'm leaning in that direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, I think this is probably going to be one of the best of the card.
You reckon? Yeah.
Ponzinibbio and BOSER. Yeah.
Yeah. I like BOSER, but he's got a very steady pace to his fights. He's got a very kind of...
This is not the dude to have a steady pace.
No.
I don't think.
Like Ponzinibbio's 0 to 60.
He's going to come out blasting.
Gunnar Nelson tried to steady him down, and that didn't work. He got his pants, he got wedged, he got poked in the eyes. There was all kinds of shit going on. Ponzinibbio's really very quick and explosive because he's slightly shorter than a lot of these welterweights. He does a bit like what Michael Chandler does. He punches up.
Yeah.
And he just seems to be able to drive power into people's chins. And BREESE is 10-0, never been stopped. Got that maybe slightly unreasonable self-confidence. Fights at a steady pace where he'll allow someone like Ponzinibbio just to blitz him and just run him over his back leg.
I watched him fight Takashi Sato last night, and I was thinking if he takes that roll where he skirts around the edge, is Ponzinibbio going to come after him and he's going to cut him off and he's going to blast him.
And he does that as well. He does kind of.
He did it against Neil Magny. Neil Magny took that skirting position, and Ponzinibbio just walked him down, cut him off, blasted him, reset, went again, walked him down, cut him off, blasted him. That was a big performance. And if you look at where Neil Magny is now, that was a real big performance. That was before it was a bone infection, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. He had all kinds of issues.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really real bad.
Unwell.
I think he nearly died.
Yeah. But
obviously there's a big gap in his record.
Yeah. But that loss to the Leech was a big setback for him because, I mean, you know, not only had he been out for a long time, but he'd already put a really good win streak together. I mean, what is that? Stoll, Court McGee, Zach Cummins, Nordine Taleb, Gunnar Nelson, Mike Perry, and Neil Magny. And
I feel like the Leech just wouldn't have it. He just Ponzinibbio wanted to push him up against the fence and make him skirt, and the Leech was like, "I'm going anywhere, mate."
That's the Leech, though, isn't it? It's got like a breeze.
I'm having the middle.
Yeah.
And then he didn't really have a plan B.
No.
And then obviously got caught.
Interesting. He was matched up with Muslim Salikov in January,
right?
And that was a cancelled bout because Salikov withdrew due to ongoing COVID symptoms.
Quick, change the pick, go back. We hear that a bit, don't we?
It's Trinaldo by being £5 over and getting free shots after the belt.
But we do hear that lingering around. We've heard that a couple of times.
Yeah, well, we've still not seen Hamzat, right?
Yeah,
it seems like an odd thing that's going on.
Yeah,
I keep hearing all kinds of stuff about it, like people feeling like their lungs are like tight and I don't know.
I mean, Bazer's he took a bit of heat off Matt Brown. He took some damage on Matt Brown and turned it around to knock him out.
And his nickname is Caramel Thunder.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a great nickname.
I just don't think he's got the fire Ponzinibbio's got. I think he's I think he should come through and win that. But again, it'd be interesting, you know, coming off that.
That's the thing. We don't know where Ponzinibbio is at now. You know, he had all that time out. I mean, his fight against Neil Magny was November of 2018, and then we didn't see him again until January of 2021.
He's another one that fights based off that strong jab, doesn't he? Real snappy, powerful jab.
Yeah,
we've seen it a lot, aren't
we? We are.
Ponzinibbio for me.
Oh yeah. I'm a little bit uncertain now. Now I've been thinking about it. I just feel like BOSER might be a little bit. I don't know.
A little bit what?
We'll go with Ponzinibbio. I don't know. I just kind of feel like BOSER might be
knock the fuck out. That's what he's going to be a little bit of.
Well, he's a bit measured, isn't he? And he's you know he's got that undefeated confidence. And Ponzinibbio's not going to be in a great place because he was expecting to come back and beat the Leech and be right back in title contention.
He must have been, mustn't he? You're not swaying me.
Okay, this is a short notice one because Roman Dolidze was initially fighting Alessio Di Chirico.
Yeah.
Di Chirico's injured. Oh, that's another thing. Patola was supposed to be fighting Todorovic, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
And MAKHAN was supposed to be fighting Nate Landwehr.
It's rough out there, isn't it?
That would have been a good fight for MAKHAN because Nate's scrappy. And MAKHAN could massively overwhelm him. Anyway, so this was supposed to be Dolidze against Di Chirico.
Another Staropoli is Argentinian like Ponzinibbio, isn't he?
He is, and he's moved up a weight class as well because he's normally a welterweight.
Right.
And he's coming off 2 losses. One to Tim Means and one to Muslim Salikov. Both decisions, though. I mean, he's a skilled fighter. He's just inexperienced for this level of the UFC.
He beat Thiago Alves, didn't he? Not Uber Thiago Alves.
He beat 2019 Thiago Alves.
I'd love Thiago Alves, mate, when he was back in the good times. He was
Thiago Alves at 2010. He was ridiculous.
Traps and leg kicks.
He was all traps
jabs and leg kicks.
When he knocked out
jabs.
What kind of jabs? When he knocked out Matt Hughes with a knee at UFC 85, that is literally the scariest photo you will ever see of that man.
Love it.
He's just muscles on muscles. Yeah. I mean, a good win in name, but not in timing.
No, he's one of those badges, though, isn't it? Got one over Thiago Alves.
Got one of the veterans.
Don't mention what year it was.
Yeah.
Delidze's a problem, though, man. He's that Georgian striking wrestle,
thudding, hairy chested man strength, gonna throw you around and beat you up.
He got a bit spent though.
Proper
Trevin Giles took him right to the edge. He took him to the edge of the galaxy.
Like a kid in front of him, though.
He did what?
Staropoli's going to look like a kid in front of him. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, but then if he gets through that horsepower and effort from Delidze, he might be able to pepper him and beat him up over the distance. He's going to be a tough one to stop, though. And what's he? One decision loss on his record. A lot of first round finishes.
I like this Georgian crew, man. I think they've got a good thing going on.
Guram.
Oh,
I can't wait for his next fight.
Yeah.
You're going with Delidze, are you?
Yeah,
You're going with
I think so.
The natural middleweight.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Short notice, Staropoli stepping up a weight class.
It's tough coming in against him. Coming off 2 losses. Class,
I mean, the thing is, one thing I will say is Staropoli he is quite tall. I mean, what is he, 6'1", 6'2"? He could transfer up this weight class. I just think he's going to look a bit like a kid in front of this guy right now.
Yeah.
But that's just my take, and I don't know much. Okay. Co-main. Walt Harris against Marcin Tybura.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think this is going to be too much for Walt, I think.
Do you feel like Walt should be better than he is?
Yeah.
I don't know what is not happening for him, but I feel like he's sort of got like 3 of the 4 bits he really needs to be good at, and he just can't.
All of the assets.
He just can't put them all together at the same time.
Yeah, he's 6'5". He's 254 pounds. He's 81-inch reach. He's 37, which is prime time as a heavyweight as well. Although he doesn't have the experience to match.
I feel like if someone has good footwork, he really struggles. Like if someone, Volkov and Overeem, they've got their experience with their footwork, and he just couldn't deal with them. But then, like Olinek and Spivak, who probably aren't quite as refined with their footwork, he dealt with them fine because it wasn't such a problem, wasn't chasing shadows the whole time.
Yeah.
Which I don't think bodes very well, because I think Marcin, he has got that elite level of footwork, and he very much likes to almost consistently just micro change the angle all the time. You're not quite sure where he is. He's never here and then here. Mm-hmm. He's here and then he's slightly off. He's here and he's slightly off.
The only criticism of Marcin Tybura is sometimes he lets the fight
too slow
drift away from him when he could really get after it. Yeah. He could put it on some of these guys, but he's a very kind of quiet. He's a big teddy bear, honestly. He's a big, quiet, nice guy. He'll just kind of gradually walk people down, but he also doesn't really utilize his ground game as much as he should. I mean, I know he got a win over Greg Hardy on the ground, but it wasn't a sub, and he is a brown belt as far as I understand. May even be a black belt now.
On that commentary, Mike was like, "Oh, Greg Hardy, like he's like." He's fighting he told me he was a D level fighter, but tonight he's fighting like an A- type fighter, and DC was just like, "What are you talking about?" And then the mic just went quiet, like someone just switched them both off. No, you can't say that. You two, move on. And then they just came back and were just talking about something completely different.
I'll have to listen
like
to
a
that
proper made DC chuckle. It was like, "Man, what are you talking about?" I think Walt probably probably should win it. And like, I think he's got enough about him to win it, but I just don't think he will. I think Martin will be too much. I just think he'll be too elusive.
Yeah.
I feel like he understands the game a bit better.
Yeah.
And I don't know where Walt goes.
I don't. No, I don't. I mean, he's just started doing some analysis work, and I do think he wants to get into TV, and he'd probably be very good at that. This is a rough one for him because I agree, he should be more successful than he is. I feel like I honestly feel like it's less of a technical thing and more of a philosophical thing.
Right.
Like, you don't need all the weapons in MMA to be a heavyweight and be successful. When you're as big and as tall and as powerful as he is, you just need to apply certain parts of it well.
Yeah.
Like, if you gave him a really good jab and a good low kick and a bit of understanding of how to use his footwork and when to put his foot on the gas, it doesn't really matter whether his elbow comes up on his right hand or whether he drops his hand on his left hook.
Yeah.
I mean, Ngannou's champ.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not exactly Mike Tyson on the pads. Like, the thing is, like, heavyweight, you don't have to be so refined. You just need to have the intention to apply it and to have a few things that you're confident applying well. I look at Overeem. I mean, Overeem's not winning fights with a whole variety of stuff. He's using the same techniques over and over again.
Yeah. He's just got very good A, B, and C's and just uses them at the right time. Yeah. You think Walt's got to come out hard, right? He's got to recognise. If we're recognising that Martin's coming out slow surely that camp is going, listen, go after him, put him under pressure. The only thing, I was thinking about this yesterday, or how would we game planning? Do you think that could be a bit of a double-edged sword, though, right? I know he's a slow start, I'm going to go after him. If you get that slightly wrong, and with Martin's footwork and the angles and the different ways he sort of manipulates people with his footwork, do you think he's then going to sort of walk into a bit of a trap?
I doubt it in the first round.
Yeah,
I think Martin warms up into the fight, and I think in that first round, if he did go after him, I think it would probably catch Martin cold.
Yeah,
I think he'd be a bit kind of caught on his heels.
Go after him, get hands on him, put him on his back, beat him up so he's
yeah. I mean, what's the alternative? Try and beat him over the distance. That's just not, like, Martin will box him up a little bit, work his body a bit, clinch him up against the fence and stand there for a moment, couple of hammer fists to the ribs, referee will break it, they'll go back to the same cycle, and if at any point Martin feels like it'll level change, he'll muscle him to the floor with a nice basic double leg, and then he's on top position, and then Walt's scrambling and he's trying to get out and turns himself into a rear naked choke.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I see it going.
Yeah, I think it's a good matchup for Tybura.
And he should be a contender, really.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a champion in, was it KSW? He was a heavyweight champion KSW. He's young enough to be, to be a contender for a while. He's only 35. He's still got another 5 years.
For heavyweights,
yeah. Plus, experience plays such a massive key, and he's on a 4-fight win streak. Poor old Walt's on a 2-fight losing streak. I mean, the chips are stacked against him. Maybe they've got a chair.
So Walt Harris then.
So what? Yeah, it's MMA after all.
Yeah.
Maybe they've got a chair waiting for him in the ESPN desk. Just that's what I'd say to him, dude. Come on, 37. You're 13-9 as a pro.
Yeah.
Let's have a solid first round and go out and use Shield if it's not going to work out for you. And then you might just smash him and like uncover a part of himself that he's never seen before.
This is how you do it.
And then he'll have a 4-fight win streak, find himself in a title shot, and we can daydream, can't we?
We can.
We've got to. And then we've got another heavyweight fight on the main event. So you're going with Tybura, of course.
Yeah, I think so.
I think this is going to be a very slow fight.
Yeah.
I may well go to bed and watch this one with coffee on Sunday morning.
Wow, that's slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't. Maybe this is why I said to you in the week, I'm not asked about this card.
It's the get back on the wagon fight.
I wasn't asked about the main event, maybe.
Look, I mean, I mean no disrespect to these guys, but I feel like recently we've seen the limitations in their game, and I think both of them. This may well be a Ngannou Derek Lewis kind of fight where they're both just kind of stand and stare at one another.
Yeah,
because
we'll wait for each other to counter.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like Rozenstruik's got good kickboxing for sure, but he can be a bit stagnant in fights and he can kind of stand around. But we also know he can turn it around the last 10 seconds if he needs to over 5 rounds. So there's always the danger that Rozenstruik can land something and just completely take Sakai's head off. But I also feel like Sakai's got a head like a brick, and I think he can take a lot of shots. Even if he gets worn down and beaten up, I can see him just being in this fight and just taking a beating. But I could also see it just being a very kind of slow-paced fight. And I mean, he was stopped. Sakai was stopped in the beginning of the 5th round against Overeem, and Overeem was winning all rounds against Rozenstruik. So we've kind of got a level. He got caught in the last 10, 15 seconds, but for me, he'd won the majority of the fight up to that point.
Like you said, Rozenstruik is a very, very competent striker, isn't he?
Yeah. Have we got confirmation that Overeem's doing this glory fight yet? Because he seems like the obvious choice to me.
Yeah, I mean, it must be him, right? I can't think of who else it would be.
It's got to be.
No, I haven't had confirmation.
Can we sort some confirmation? Because I want to start getting excited about it. The next one's
Badr
Badr
Hari,
Hari,
email
isn't
him?
it? Yeah, you could.
Yeah. Next one is Badr Hari.
Yeah. July 17?
Yeah.
Glory.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think it is. Continue what you were saying about...
He's a competent kickboxer, isn't he? He's got a beautiful pendulum hands and feet movement where he'll right hand, left kick, left hand, right kick.
Yeah.
And finishes a lot of the time on a kick, doesn't he? Mm. And he sort of screens his speed. He's not slow. He doesn't strike slow. He strikes quite fast, and he masks it with his sort of conservative, like he does a lot of this, but he's not actually moving in that range. And I think it puts people off on the range judgment. Mm. But he's relative. The only thing I thought is maybe Sakai gets him and puts him on his back and beats him up. You'd think there's a fair chance of that happening.
I think he's got good enough takedown defense.
Do you?
Yeah,
you don't think he'll get him down?
I have a feeling he's got like a background in judo or something as well. He's got some judo
experience. Really strong.
Isn't judo big in Suriname? I kind of feel like it is. Is it French speaking? It would make sense that judo was taught in schools there.
Yeah,
I feel like he has got some judo because he's quite comfortable in the clinch. Let me just have a quick look on his takedown defense.
He looks really strong. If you clinched up with him, with Biggie Boy, you'd be like,
80% takedown defense. 80%.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah. Compared to Sakai's takedown accuracy of 50%.
Yeah, no. Don't listen to me.
But then Sakai's striking rate is considerable. But he ain't thudding like Rozenstruik. He's probably landing 3 or 4 shots, and Rozenstruik.
Here's another one you put on a nice clinic on that single necktie on Tybora, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That damage, beat him up with one hand. Yeah, with one hand.
Yeah.
I don't think he was expecting that. He was just kind of chilling, wasn't he? And he just got caught cold and he got smashed up pretty bad.
Which way are you leaning? Given the fact that you don't give a damn. Right? How much thought have you given it? He's not giving any thought. He doesn't.
Rozenstruik, I think maybe catch him. Maybe
counter left hook.
I don't know.
As Sakai's moving forward.
Let me know. Let me know how it goes.
I will, however, be watching the rest of the card with excitement.
Yeah. I agree. There's some wicked fights.
I don't have high hopes for this. I mean,
imagine if it comes out and it's an absolute burner, and they're just wailing on each other.
But the thing is, it goes one or two ways, right? We either say, "Oh my god, this is going to be fucking incredible. There's no way this is going the distance," and then we get a 5-round snooze fest. Whereas if we sit here and trash it in the hopes that we might be surprised,
it's a win-win then, isn't it?
So then we're both sitting here next week going, "We look like dickheads, don't we?"
Yeah. Well.
Although on the poster, Sakai does look like he's just smelled a fart, and that doesn't fill me with any kind of confidence. They're both like, you see it? They've both got that look on their face. Tell me I'm wrong. I haven't seen it. Yeah, and it's like a weird kind of mustardy, like
a mustard fart.
It's not a healthy looking colour of poster.
Yeah, Biggie Boy will get this, I think.
You reckon? Yeah. What's your fight of the night pick? Let's leave it on a good. Let's leave it on a good note.
I still think Ponzinibbio and BOSER will be a fight of the night.
Yeah.
But also MOROZ and Firo, I think could be a fight of the night.
Okay. I think Mason Jones against Alan Patrick's going to be the fight of the night. I think it's going to be like a tornado.
Wicked.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm still feeling that Salikov back kick to the unconditioned solar plexus of Trinaldo.
Very cool. All good.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah. Check out the sponsors, guys. C4, Manscaped, and join us on MMA Fanatics, and we'll play along on the league.
Yeah. Get into the league. Get into the league because we'll start doing something we'll do like a monthly winner or something.
They emailed me actually. They want to do a competition, so we have some prizes.
Perfect.
Probably not this week, but maybe for the next numbered event. I think we'll do a competition.
Okay. I've got a good competition, haven't I, Jamie? We were talking about it the other day. Because these boys went down to see Dan Strauss the other day. Went to see Raspberry Ape. And it turns out that he gives people a different story every time they ask him what his nickname's from. So I think we need to do a competition where people create a story for the Raspberry Ape nickname.
I like it.
We'll do like a
video or how do you enter?
I mean, we could get voice notes. We could get text.
Voice notes would be really funny.
Voice notes would be good.
No, because they'll have to send that to a number. Then.
No, it'd be better if it was written because I want to sit Strauss down in front of a camera and have him read them out first time.
Well, let's do that.
Okay,
we'll do that. We'll give him a full Reptile goodie bag.
There we go. All right. Well, there's a full Reptile goodie bag available then.
Why is Dan Strauss called the Raspberry Ape?
Yeah, you've got to create the best story for him. Oh fuck, I don't know. Type it out in your notes and screenshot it and tweet it at me. Hashtag Raspberry Ape nicknames.
You've put that all on you now. Now you're going to have to go through it all.
Tag Ollie.
Do you want to do it on Full Reptile?
Yeah.
Reptile. Tag Full
that.
Reptile on
sense,
Twitter and send it to us, and then
we should have fucking thought about this, shouldn't we? Full_Reptile on Twitter.
I don't know if you noticed, but we're making this up as we go along. I don't know if that's coming across or not, but definitely making this up.
Got all the sponsorships written out on his
written and shit. Right. Why is the Raspberry Ape called the Raspberry Ape?
Why is the Raspberry Ape called the Raspberry Ape?
Write it in your notes, screenshot it, send it on Twitter at Full Reptile.
Full_Reptile.
Full_Reptile.
Fucking hate that underscore.
Well, you set it up.
Did I?
Yeah. Oh. There you go. Self-hate.
Love that underscore.
Self-hate, that is.
That is a beautiful
no
underscore.
No place for self-hate.
You need that bit of breathing room between the two words. You don't need to be full reptile. You want it to be full reptile. Right?
True.
So when you print it out, you can stick a little smiley face in the space.
The Full Reptile Lifestyle range is on offer at the minute.
Oh, look at this. Hey?
2 of our premium T-shirts for £40 is an absolute steal. You should get involved. You should really get involved. Very nice, very nice T-shirts.
We've got some new colours coming out as well.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, the summer collection's coming out.
Summer collection.
4 weeks.
Oh, I need to order those filters for the photos.
You do.
I can't remember.
Right, I just cannot remember anything.
I showed you this, didn't I? That haven't got me made.
Yeah,
my Hunter S. Thompson.
Something else was.
I might just show
you. Moved it.
Yeah, no, you moved it.
I did not move it.
No, we were sponsored by Lego
touch
Batman.
Things in this house. Are you mad?
You say that.
I do not touch things in this house. Look, some C4 cans I took instead.
Yeah,
there's a Batmobile or something.
There was a Batmobile. Yeah, no, that's wrong podcast.
Yeah, there's a wrong podcast.
I'll bring that in next time. I've still got the Boglins floating around somewhere.
I barely remember Monday, let alone the 90s.
Oh, that's a fucking quote.
Oh, good.
I can be.
We'll leave it there. It's enough nonsense.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.